Hello, welcome back to Love from the Past. Welcome back to another video. Today I'm at Sumac Cemetery, and I've come to visit the grave of Winnie Pulliam and her 5 children. William Shakespeare once said, "Truth will come to sight, murder cannot be hid long," and such is the case of Mark Pulliam. Winnie Pulliam and 5 of her 8 children were found dead in a house fire in the Sumac community in early November 1942. Will Walraven was the first witness on the scene, and he realized something was not right when he saw what he thought was blood in the yard, on the front steps of the home, and on the mattress that held Winnie's body. George Baxter and Fred Blankenship were next to arrive at the scene and agreed that something was amiss and sent for the sheriff. Shortly thereafter, Mark Pulliam Sr., husband of Winnie, was arrested at his logging job in Rocky Face and charged with murder. Mr. Pulliam's alibi was that each weekend he spent with his family in Chatsworth, and during the week he stayed with his sister in Dalton and commuted from there to his job in Rocky Face. Mr. Pulliam claimed that he knew nothing of the tragedy until he was told by the authorities. He said that he had been at home with his family on Sunday night and that Winnie had gotten up at 3 a.m. to fix him breakfast before he left. Miss Moore, the next-door neighbor, claimed that she had been at the Pulliams' home on Sunday night and that Mark was not present. However, Mr. Pulliam's brother claimed that he came to his house on Monday morning asking for a ride to Rocky Face. Mr. Pulliam's alibi began to unravel quickly. As deputies began to explore the events, they found that Mr. Pulliam had been keeping company with a Miss Ella Mae Hall. Her occupation was listed as a spread factory worker in Dalton. Upon questioning by the police, she admitted that she spent both Friday and Saturday night with Mr. Pulliam in Chattanooga. They had returned to Dalton on Sunday, and she had not seen Mr. Pulliam since 8 p.m. Sunday night. Miss Hall was arrested on Monday and charged with being an accessory. A coroner's jury was convened in early 1943. Testimony from 2 of the Pulliam children, Moselle and Mark Jr., indicated that Mr. Pulliam had threatened to kill them all. The county coroner, Dr. E.H. Dickey, also testified that the mattress found at the home after the fire did contain blood. T.W. Kennemer, an insurance agent from Dalton, was called as a witness before the coroner's jury. He claimed that 4 months prior to the tragedy, Mark Pulliam Sr. took out policies totaling around $2,400 issued on the lives of the twins and 1 of the other children. These policies had expired the day before the fire. On Sunday night, an unidentified couple came into the insurance agency to pay the premiums for these policies to Tom Smith, another agent in the same firm. Mr. Smith acknowledged that these 2 people that came into the agency were Mr. Pulliam and Miss Hall. After deliberations, the coroner's jury made the decision that Mark Pulliam Sr. be arrested for murder, and this request was submitted to the grand jury. Although Miss Hall had been arrested earlier and charged with being an accessory, the grand jury did not charge her with anything and she was released. W.E. Foster, with the Georgia Bureau of Investigation, stated that he and his wife had taken in the surviving 2 Pulliam children at this time. The trial began in February of 1943 in the Murray County Courthouse. Originally, the state had a list of 25 witnesses, and the defense attorney had 55 witnesses that were to be called to testify. This list was quickly depleted, and the final list contained no witnesses for the state and only 17 for the defense. Testimonies and arguments by both attorneys lasted for 3 days. The jury deliberated for 6 hours and convicted Mark Pulliam of the murder of his wife, Winnie. He was immediately sentenced to life imprisonment. This incident received national coverage, and the tragedy was featured in the Sunday News distributed in New York City in January of 1948. The article was written by Ruth Reynolds and was titled "When Justice Triumphed." The Chatsworth Times noted that the names of the victims as being Miss Winnie Pulliam, 36, Alvy Jean, 11, Catherine, 9, Martha, 7, and Wayne and Worth, who were 3-year-old twins. 3 children were not present at the house at the time of the tragedy. Moselle, 14, and Lovell, 5, were visiting their maternal grandparents, Mr. and Miss John Charles, in Gordon County. The eldest child, Mark Jr., 16, was with his father at the sawmill. Here is their grave right here. 6 Pullmans died November 2nd, 1942. Now you may be wondering, where is the other graves of the children as well as the mother? But something with them, they are actually all buried together in one casket. So as well as the mother and the other 5 children, they're all buried together in this one casket. My voice cracked a little bit right there. But it was just a pure act of evil that unfortunately took them away from this planet. Just pure evil. But they are now resting here at Sumac Cemetery. And I'm just doing this video to remember them and keep their memory living on forever. But that's going to be all for today, guys. I hope you did enjoy that video. If you did, make sure to leave a like on it. And also subscribe down below if you haven't already, because that helps me out a whole lot. And it's also free, so definitely do it if you haven't already. Comment down below what you liked about this video. If you want to see more videos like this, then definitely leave that in the comments below. But with all that said, thank you all so much for watching. And as always, have a great day.